What's the situation on Iran? Well, I think Iran's doing just fine, but I will get into that shortly. I don't know if they took Trump's deal. I imagine, like I say, you have to let's keep everything into perspective, Heidi, about this thing here's all been played out. It's all a pantomime, and it's basically Trump is there to take out the deep state, the NAZIs. NAZIs come in many different countries. Okay, I do want to get into one thing though, and I want to make it very clear, because this is not just an announcement, but it's also a warning, and I'm trying to keep our tribe ahead of the game, on the inside curve of things. I want to keep everybody knowing and understanding exactly what is going to happen. I don't care about what happened yesterday. I care about where we're going with this whole game, okay? Yes, it's part of the movie. Divine Alignment Coach is on top of things. It's all part of the show. Venezuela was never taken over. Let's back that up a bit. 2020, they arrested Maduro, okay, in 2020. During the COVID lockdown. That would give them a chance to go and hit all these tyrannical globalist leaderships around the world, and they took them out basically when the shutdown was done at that time. And then, of course, they've had to play this out for the the slower minds of the normies to grasp. Everything's just fine. They are basically taking out the NAZIs, and I expect the NAZIs in the state of it'll start with an I and end with an I. You know what I'm talking about, right? Or end with an L. That might be going next, and of course they're going to go on to the Brits, which are the big troublemakers in this worldwide conflict. Not all the Brits. I maybe rephrase that. It's the globalist Brits that are in the financial district, the 10 Square block downtown London. They are the masterminds for all these wars which Trump is taking out, and BP is part of that globalist conglomerate, and they're being taken out as well. Now, okay, so I want to explain something here for everybody. Now, I'm going to say, I bought my first house in 1975. I've owned more than 60 mortgages inside Canada. I've been on more than 580 projects around the world, okay? So the reason why I'm saying this is that I'm just giving you a testimony about my whole life has all been about real estate, okay? It's all been, buy, build, and sell, and it goes on and on. So I know how the bankers and banksters are working. They are, right now, the banks are turning gangsters, okay? The banks are turning gangsters because what they're going to do is that if you have any type of default, they're going to keep pressuring you for higher payments and keep doing these things. They'll never lend you money to try to get out of the situation that you're in. And then they'll come in and they're trying to pass some law right now, being forced upon the illegitimate government that was unelected. They're being pressured out there because they're going to go into a kind of a fire sale. Just hang in there. Just bear with me here. So they're trying to pressure everybody, and if they have any kind of a defaults on their properties and housing, they don't really care about the land, because nobody's, if you got a house or empty land and with an RV on it or something like that, they're not really concerned about that. What they are concerned about is all the housing inside the cities, and they're trying to gobble them up. The banks will not help you to get out of any situation that you're in. I believe when they do take this thing over and they do gangster on you and try to evict you out of your home, first they wipe out all the work for Canadians, Americans, or even Europeans. They wipe out all the potential jobs, and then the people that have hold mortgages on these properties are under pressure to try to get them working. First, it came with the mom and dad having to work, and the kids having to go to school to be brainwashed by the school, the fascist school systems that they laid on us, to, get the kids separated from the mom and dad. While they were out there busting their ass trying to, put money together to keep the family together. That was the first attack. Second attack was, the government, basically wiping out all these corporations and not signing any deals for pipelines and all this other stuff. Not to mention, if you were lucky enough to get a job, they would tax you 40, 50, 60% of your total income, which was totally illegal. Okay, so it was, when you first bought a house, you were basically set up for target practice at that point. Okay? You were set up for target practice at that point. If you managed to hang on for 10, 15, 20 years or whatever, you've basically thrown all this money out the window, okay? Because the house, and let me just mark my words, or just remember what I said here. The housing market has gone down 20 to 25% already, okay? And we're not even near the bottom yet. Not even near. So you're paying on something, possibly paying on something that's way, overvalued, and you're having to pay a mortgage up here. That's why they keep on artificially inflating the prices. Okay, are you following me so far? They're artificially inflating the prices, so if the mortgage don't get you, the taxes will. Okay, while they're getting ready to attack you. That's what's happening. Okay, so I hope everybody's following me on this. Okay, I'll tell you what I did. And I did this just 2011 because after the Lehman meltdown, and I seen all the banks take all the accounts from the people and pay off these executives in these high ivory towers. They got paid off, and General Motors and Ford and whatever. It was just a big scam, Ponzi scheme. I sold everything then, and I got out of it, and I put everything that I had, most of it, into gold and silver. Okay, because I knew right then, if you want to get out of it, this is my, and I have been said this once before. You want to get out of this situation that you're in, dump your property, take the haircut, get out from underneath the mortgage, because it's going to be taken from you anyways. Eventually, they will, the market's going to crash, and what's going to happen? Are you going to still have that contract with the bank? The market will crash, and you'll have a house that they're saying is worth 1.5 million now, is only actually worth 120 grand. That's the truth. So I seen this coming because I was in the game. I was doing building and properties and stuff like that, and getting paid for the contracts. Okay, but I smelt something bad and very, very evil happening back then, based on the meetings that I was having with these mortgage brokers. And you all that are holding properties or mortgages, stuff like that, are still holding on to these properties. I take the haircut, sell off whatever you can get, because right now it still is, whatever price this was, it's now down 25%. Then it's going to go down 50%. Then it's going to go down 100%. Well, how are you going to get your money back if you don't liquidate your property now? That's all I'm saying. If it was me, I would have dumped that property, taken the money, and left it out of the bank so the government can't get you their squirrely parasitic hands on it, and stick it into physical silver, gold. That's what I did. Do not give them what they want. We are being controlled by the communist Chinese. Not we, but the government that was not appointed by us. Okay? U.S. corporation has been found insolvent. What do you think is next? Well, they've already wiped out the U.S. corporation. Okay, so you're going to see a sovereign republic formed. It's already formed. They're just going to apply it. And you're going to see mass arrests coming for all the politicians, governors, everybody who has been complicit to doing crimes against humanity. It's one way to get to Israel. It's they are basically not after these countries, the names of these countries, or the people that are in these countries. Or, a lot of the good Jewish people have fled back to Russia or into the States or wherever the case may be. It's only been the PEDOs that have been caught or know that they're being hunted are racing back to Israel to think that there is no extradition. And that's the ones that they're going to go after pretty quick. Well, the EBS, we got lots to go through. There's the EBS, I believe, and I'm going to get into this thing about what's happening, because we're just finishing off March right now. There is something I must say that goes into the Bible that was written in 1857 that a beautiful young Christian lady had written, and she opened up, she had this Bible that she somehow managed to have. It's a huge, thick, big, almost tabletop book, almost like, 6, 7, 8 inches thick. And she opened this book up that was written in 1857, and it tells when Jesus Christ was resurrected. And the date of that resurrection back then was April the 5th. Now, isn't that a coincidence that April the 5th of 2026 lands on April the 5th? Is Easter. Okay? So I think something very, very exciting is about to happen. Whether it be the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. April is the month where a lot of things are going to be resurrected. Maybe even Jesus Christ. So I just want everybody to put that on the shelf and keep an open mind for what is about to happen, okay? But what I'm trying to do for all my family out there, my patriots, because you guys are the tip of the sword. You guys are the spear that's going to drive itself right through the heart of the cabal, of the deep state. They're finished. And us shining the light and, discovering the truth and communicating the truth with each other and everybody that is assimilating with it or gravitating towards it, is only benefiting humanity. So we are the tip of the spear. I heard the EBS might be in the next couple of days. You know what? If from what I hear, if the Nasar Jasara does get activated with the green light, then of course the EBS will follow that right away. Okay? So is this all going to happen in April? Let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's hope it does. Because I believe, based on the questions that was asked to our commander, and he said, Iran's just about wrapped up. But what's coming after that? I believe Cuba's already been handled. I believe that what you're watching right now is a simulated movie on stuff that's already happened years ago. From like when they stole the election from Trump in 2020, that's when the shadow government, the good shadow government, went and basically clamped down. They basically committed the crime at that time. And I don't think they were going to sit around there and wait because they already had the goods on all these criminals. So I think they just went around and started arresting everybody. So we're just watching this play out, and they're doing it to stimulate the normies' minds. Well, I just said, yeah, the EBS will, if the NESARA GESARA is about to flip the green switch, EBS will be right after that, because they'll have to shut everything down. There'll be 10 days, and of course everybody will have to sit beside their TV, get shut down, and watch the last 100 years of this cabal system that has enslaved you and humanity for the last 100 years. Yes. Well, that's what's happening. There is no corporations anymore, and I know that the Commonwealth, or the Corporation of Canada, is going to be a sovereign republic very, very soon. And then that way the 49th parallel border would disintegrate. It would disappear. And then we just go across state line. Yeah. And, we're starting to see a lot of things come down in pricing too. So in Canada, and not so much in the gas, but it's going to be, it's probably going to be in the building material aspect of it. And I think real estate is on its way down, and it's on its way out. So anybody that is holding real estate inside Canada right now, I would seriously consider, dumping your properties and getting that money turned into precious metal. I really would. I'm not even recommending it anymore. I'm way out there and say that. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, any type of negative, just remember that these liberals and lefties have a very, very hard time pulling their head out of their ass. They just cannot see any light. They are stuck on stupid, and don't worry about them. They're not going to be a part of future that we're all going to experience. We're going to see a big reveal. It's going to get, listen, this was a perfect analogy. What's about to happen is, and we can only relate this to the mothers, I guess, out there, but it's going to be like a mother giving birth to twins, and we're going to go through a lot of pain. But then on the other side, it's going to be a beautiful thing on the other side. What we're dealing with right now, and it is to expose the evil that has always been here. It's always been here, but it's been cloaked in the shadows and in the dark areas of this reality. And now it's being exposed, and it's like they are melting because they're being exposed. They can't hide no more.